Caméra. Caméra.
Okay, maybe we can take a seat?
Take a seat?
Yeah? We can take a seat.
Wow.
This is yours?
Oh, yes. Let's check the time. Thank you. We don't have too much time for photos as we are starting a little bit late. Thank you.
Dit nog? Nog iets voor Joe?
Thank you. Do you have what you need? Oh, you don't have to do anything. It's already on. Japanese is for. Okay, please. Could you take a seat? Please take a seat. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start. Take a seat. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everybody, to the press conference for Minamata in world premiere tonight in Berlinale Special Gala. I'm going to introduce our guests without further ado, starting with the other end of the table. So to your left, Mr. Bill Nighy.
Bill Nighy.
The cinematographer, Benoît Delhomme. Actress Catherine Jenkins. Actress Akiko Iwase. Actor Hiroyuki Sanada. The director of the film, Andrew Levitas. Mr. Johnny Depp. Actress Minami. And Mrs. Eileen Miyoko-Smith. So I'm not going to ask the first question. This is all yours. Yes, over there.
Hi, Stephen Schaefer here for the Boston Herald. Johnny, congratulations. What a transformative performance. Can you talk how you got into the soul of Gene Smith, this man who's ready to die at the beginning, a broken alcoholic who finds a purpose and sort of a new chapter in his life?
Yeah. I've heard that story somewhere before. I've always had a kind of a strange fascination with Eugene Smith, W. Eugene Smith. Initially, the photographs, of course, but then when I'd read a bit about his life and what he'd gone through, what he'd experienced, what he sacrificed, you know. Oh, thanks. What he sacrificed to capture those moments, you know, to capture those photos. I was also fascinated by the fact that he was known as W. Eugene Smith, and I've heard the story that whenever anyone he would be, you know, at times curmudgeonly, in bad mood or whatever was going on in his mind, and they'd say, "What does the W stand for, Gene?" And he'd say, "Wonderful." Wonderful Eugene Smith. And then, of course, the work that he and Eileen did in Minamata is monumental. I mean, it was quite a ride for them. Very dangerous. Very. I mean, so dedicated. So, you know. Yeah, they did not jump ship.
Go ahead.
Here, question from Brazil to Mr. Johnny Depp. Congratulations. Watching your incredible performance yesterday, during several times, I kept in my mind the image of Dennis Hopper, and it was difficult for me to understand why. I think now I can understand. Dennis Hopper was an incredible photographer as well as an actor. Are you a photographer as well? What's your relation with photography? And if you allow me a second question, you directed an incredible movie called The Brave a long time ago. Do you have plans to direct again? Congratulations.
Thank you so much. The Brave was enough of an experience, you know, on a sort of my head felt like it was going to explode every day. Because I had to sort of split the idea of being an actor and being a director. So yeah, I think I learned my lesson on that one. I definitely wouldn't want to direct anything if I was. I wouldn't cast myself in a movie for sure. Yeah, and I definitely think about it if I didn't have to, you know, parade around in front of it. So I just don't. I'd hate to have to watch myself ever again. What was the first part of the question?
About photography. About photography.
Oh, relationship with photography. I mean, I'm a huge fan of photography from, you know, from complete unknowns, you know, and certainly, you know, the masters. My relationship with photography, I've found, is that the best photographs that I've taken were just captured and happened by chance and in a particular moment. Those are the ones that excite me. The accidents, I suppose, that excites me about photography and cinema.
Very humble, because we had real film in Gene's cameras. Or Johnny's cameras.
I find out now. I just found that out. No.
Yes, I have all of those photos. And so every time Johnny was snapping a photograph as Gene, you know, he was doing it right, and the images are actually quite spectacular.
Who knew? Jesus.
Who knew? Well, he knew.
A lot of accidents. I've had a lot of accidents.
Sir?
My name is Masamitsu Oku, Minamata-based journalist for the Asahi Shimbun, Japanese daily newspaper. I know personally many Minamata disease patients in this film. Yeah. They say Minamata disease is not over yet. I found this movie conveyed the heated atmosphere of the 70s, especially Mr. Johnny Depp and Mr. Hiroyuki Sanada. You looked exactly like Eugene Smith and Mr. Kawamoto Teruo. My question to Mr. Johnny Depp. What did you think about Minamata disease? Tell us in your own word.
Well, I mean, when I first read the story, I mean, the nightmare that happened down there because of the mercury and all the toxic poisoned water. It was almost impossible to believe that something could not only arrive in such a horrific way, but it spared no one, and there was absolutely nothing that they could do about it. So I mean, what those people had to live, I can only read about or imagine. Eileen certainly knows firsthand, and yeah, very profoundly knows better than anyone on the subject, for sure.
Maybe we can hear, Eileen, how you were approached about the project, if you participated. Maybe also if you've seen the film and what kind of feelings it triggered in you.
Well, first I would like to say that I think Gene is a very lucky person. Because here at this moment, I mean, he died years ago, but we are all here. And this was his last project that he did with me. But through his photography, he's very much alive, and we're here today. And so I first want to say thank you. I think that Gene is a very fortunate and lucky person. And with the Minamata victims, I was in Minamata last week also. For us, when we lived there, the 3 years, it was our home. And in facing the tragedy with everybody and photographing, we never considered it a hardship because everybody's life around us was, of course, so much harder. It's hard to put it in a few words, but people asked me, were you shocked when you went? And I felt I wasn't shocked by what I saw visually, but the fact that it keeps continuing on, and it's still today. Still the same remaining, the illness there. And there are many, many people that are still trying to get justice. There's multiple lawsuits going on, including small children that are still trying to get recognition for having fallen ill. So anyway, I feel like I have to pinch myself because this is really unbelievable. Anyway, thank you.
Hi, Valentina D'Amico from Italy. Congratulations for the wonderful movie. Question to Johnny Depp. Yesterday, the president of the jury, Jeremy Irons, spoke about the political responsibility of actors. As an actor and as a producer too of this movie, I would like to know the political importance for you of this movie. Talking about these themes now that we are speaking about pollution, environment, and in general, how did you choose the movie not to act but to produce?
Well, certainly reading the story, learning the history of what happened in Minamata was, as I was saying earlier, the fact that it even happened at all is quite shocking. The fact that it continued and still continues is even more shocking. Yeah, just as a reader, as someone who was interested and believed it was a story that needed to be told. Certainly needed to be told. And any time that you can harness, I suppose, the power of media or cinema or whatever art, I think any time that you can harness that power and use it to open people's eyes to something that did happen and does continue today. So I suppose the thing is that if you can take an idea, bring it to a page, somebody decides that they're interested in putting the thing together, somebody chucks money in because they care enough to. Films like this don't get made every day, so I think we're all very lucky in that sense that to be able to have the honor to bring a story like this to the people, to show them what happens, and to show to maybe spark some degree of interest or care that they'd been blind to before, not out of any sort of not caring, just not knowing. We all care. We just have to, we must know about things first. So, yeah, if you can take cinema and use that power to send a message, I think it's very, it was, for me, for all of us, I think it was a very personal dream, to do.
I'm just going to respond to that as well, because Johnny's too humble of a guy to tell you the truth, which is that, and never really talk about himself, and which is that Johnny was a driver of this project from day one, and it mattered, and we talked about it a lot, and he talked my ear off. He doesn't like to talk about it and these things publicly because he'll never, stand up and take credit for, how much he cares about these things, and he never is out there saying, look at me in that way, but this came from him. And all the passion and all of what we were able to do in terms of pulling it together, in terms of the messaging, in terms of everything that we all cared about on this film, it came out of Johnny's heart and Johnny's passion, and it built from there. And it mattered. And, for me, and he's getting nervous, uncomfortable doing it. But, it's the truth in this instance. And everyone up here cared and brought total heart and total love and total commitment to it. And it's not just Minamata. There are issues like this happening all over the world. And, this is a film that talks about the parts per million. It talks about, governments and corporations deciding that we are, in every little corner, it's the parts per million, the small amount allowed in a bottle of water or a can of soda or anything that you drink or eat or that comes into the environment. But ultimately, all of us here and all of our families and all of our relatives and everyone we've ever met, we are all the parts per million. And that's really the thing. And that's the sort of thing that, we all spoke about all the time and cared about. And I think that's why everybody from, a grip on set, an extra on set, to all of the actors you see here, to all of the keys, to all of the financiers, everybody cared. And it all started with the original kernel and the beginnings of this project, which all came out of Johnny, and his allowance and support of all of us to push that messaging through and make sure that it wasn't tainted, it wasn't watered down, and that it was out there. I'm sorry that I have to do that, but it's really the truth, and people should know because it matters, and he really cares.
Thank you, Andrew.
Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Since we just heard about how particular a collective experience this film was, I would love to hear, for example, Bill Nye on his experience on the...
Is Bill here? Hey, Bill.
His experience participating in it.
Good morning. Yeah, I was very pleased. As Andrew says, everybody who was on the movie knew why they were there, beyond the usual reasons for being on a movie. The script was sensational and all the elements were desirable. I'd worked with Johnny before as a squid, and I wanted to see what it was like as a regular human being. and then I got Catherine Jenkins as my secretary, which was bizarre and unreal, but very beautiful, obviously. And I worked with the sensational Benoit Delhomme. Everything about it was attractive, and it was one of the most satisfying jobs. I know they always say this is not PR. It was one of the most satisfying engagements I ever had, and I'm very proud to have been involved.
Thank you, Bill.
And I just was curious to hear our Japanese actors, Akiko and Hiroyuki, about Mr. Sanada. You worked on international productions, but was it perhaps important for this part that it was 100% Japanese role, that it was rooted in Japan and Japanese history? Was there a sort of weight and responsibility in interpreting these roles?
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. I had a great experience with the great crew and cast. And when I read the script, I was moved a lot and also shocked because, these things happen. I was a little boy. I just knew as a, ordinary child, but I didn't know anything deeply. So I felt shocked and ashamed. And this story is not only Minamata, it's happening all over the world still now. So I thought we had to tell the story to the world, especially for now. And I wanted to involve to this project as a Japanese actor. And especially for now, we need a hero like Eugene. And the Johnny was my hero too. So I was so happy to work with him with this important theme. And then we can introduce to the world today. So, yeah, I'm so excited to see the movie tonight at the premiere, and then love to tell to this story to the young generation, to never forget and never happen again, I hope. And yeah, that's why I'm here.
Akiko, would you like to say?
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm very honored to be here with great cast and great crews. And well, before the shooting starts, I went to Minamata twice, and I talked to many victims. And what I can say is they did nothing wrong. They just ate fish. But they had to go through such a hardship in life, and it's still going. It's not a past. They're still suffering. So I think this movie, I hope it will be a stone to make waves and spread to the world. And like Andrew said, same things are happening all over the world still. And I think we should keep talking about this and don't forget about it. And I'm very happy or very honored to be a part of this project. So thank you.
And Minami? Minami, we would love to hear of your experience. And did you meet Eileen Smith to prepare for the part, and was it important for you?
Yeah, of course. It's really important for me. And I have many things to say, but I didn't saw yet the movie, so I don't know what to say. yeah, maybe I need to say sorry or no. But yeah, I want to say for Hiro told right now, it's not only Japanese problem. It's they happen in Canada, in US, this disease, I think, and so we need to. I think it's not Japanese things only. Sorry about my English. I'm doing my best, and I progress a lot from. But anyway, and thank you. But of course, this story is about Eugene Smith, a journalist photograph, and of course Minamata. But I really appreciate Eileen Smith because through my role acting Eileen, I understand I think she's a hero, is a shadow hero on the story, and she is as well photographer with Eugene, and she supports Eugene, but not only support, she made that things and she made together, and I really feel this power from Eileen, and I don't know if I can like acting well like as she did at the moment, but yeah, and so I just want to say thank you to Eileen, and of course to Eugene, Johnny. It's very funny because he put the beer, Johnny, and he picked the gun. I don't know who I'm talking with, and I'm just yeah. But yeah, did you understand my?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Pavis from RTL West. Great compliments to all of the cast members because you all did a great job on that movie, and to the director. My question is for Mr. Bilnahi. Good to see you again, sir. And for Mr. Sanada, I hope I pronounced it right. I know it's a very serious topic, but did you have maybe some fun behind the takes, behind the scenes, especially with Johnny? Some nice set memories, if we have some.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. I had it was always, as always, it was very satisfying and very amusing to work with Johnny. I would tell you some of the fun we had, but I can't repeat any of it in public.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
One day it'll all come out, Bill. About us.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we had a great time. You know, he's so patient to make up maybe 1.5 or 3 hours a day.
Yeah,
every day he spent a long time to prepare, but always he's calm and gentle, even for the extras. So kind and warm. Yeah, he created a great atmosphere on set. And for the weekend, we had a drink together or something. That was a fun time for me, too. And he's a great musician as well, so always holding the guitar, and then sometimes, yeah, you sang for me. So it was a great experience. Sorry, fans. I had a great time with him.
Well, it was. I have to jump in just to say how lucky we've been to be able to do this film, to make this film. All of the teams behind the scenes, and then onwards to behind the camera. The amount of work, the amount of, the dedication of, Hiro was, when he wasn't working, when he wasn't shooting, he may not shoot for 5 days or something, but he's there on set every day. He's there helping younger actors. He was painting signs, he was helping a set deck. So it wasn't just one of those, I'll be in my trailer, send over the foie gras, it wasn't not one of those films. And not one person up here or on the film had anything other than just intense dedication, and felt the responsibility of having to tell Eileen's story and Jean's story, and there's great responsibility there, you know. But having this team, these actors, Minami, Hiro, I mean, every single person here gave more, I think, than they ever expected to. Andrew, just for my money, he from the first second, it was clear he was going to knock it out of the park, and I had very high expectations, but had there was no way to ever predict that he could have far exceeded, far surpassed those expectations through just care, dedication, work. Benoit, our amazing director of photography, is an artist of the highest caliber. Working with him and getting to know, because between actor and camera, there's a strange dance that you do when scenes aren't particularly blocked out exactly to where, he doesn't know where I'm going to go. I don't know where he's going to go. In certain shots, there's a kind of beauty in that, in the organic nature of that dance between actor and operator, or the eye, which is Benoit. Incredible work. So yeah,
we must hear Benoit.
Indeed. Wow. Well, thank you, Johnny. I mean, it's incredible to hear this from you. I mean, I was so blessed to get to film this subject. If you are a cameraman, your main obsession is to make images. And this time, the hero of the film was a guy who was obsessed about making images all his life. So I think I like to express myself with images. And, it was just like a dream. So I couldn't believe I was doing it. And when I saw the first photo of Johnny, as Eugene, I couldn't believe it. I thought, okay, I have to do it. Andrew, I've been showing me the photo just after we talked for the first time, and I thought, okay, I have to make this film. I spent my childhood doing prints in my dark room in my kitchen, So, I know what it is to spend hours in a dark room making images, and the emotion you get when you get the photo revealed, in the revelator, in the red light, the shock you get in your heart, when you see the photo you took maybe weeks before, and suddenly you're there with your fingers and you touch physically, you physically touch the photo when you're a photographer like Eugene. It's a very sensual thing to do. And I think when I was watching Johnny doing it, I felt, I was doing it. And it was incredible for me. I had a dream to do that. And talking about Minamata was also something for me important. I don't make images to make beautiful images. I make images to talk about subjects and to, like Eugene, I want my images to be seen by people and understood by people. And even kids can understand this film. Anybody can understand it because we try to make it very simple as possible. When you will see the scene where, at the end, the mother gives a bath to her daughter, just this photo is worth, millions of words and speeches. This is why I'm doing my job, really.
So, I'm sorry, we have time for just
one more. See how lucky I was.
more.
I had all of these people. I didn't even have to do anything. It was amazing.
Last question, sorry.
Hi, Alessandra De Tommasi from Italy. My question is to Mr. Depp. I would like to ask you, how can you relate to Eugene also as a father? I mean, he's a photographer and still he doesn't carry on any pictures in his wallet of his son. How hard it was to imagine a world where you cannot stay with your children, you know nothing about them. So how was it for you? Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we tried to keep to stay focused on the story, you know, of the disaster, and you used certainly like little bits and pieces of Gene's life, sort of build the character or to give some history of him. My take on Gene Smith is that he was, I think it was probably very loud in his brain, and I imagine that it didn't calm down all that much throughout probably his entire life. And those are, you know, when you have that kind of white noise, static voices, noises, cacophony of even silence, it tends to make someone quite isolated. So I always felt like he was very isolated or locked into his own sort of peculiar understanding of fate, I suppose. You know, one thing I just wanted to say about doing this film, because it was a great question earlier about sort of social responsibility or political or what responsibilities as actors or filmmakers or whatever. I think just as people, all of us are faced with huge, monolithic-sized problems at times in our lives, you know. Whether it be some horrific disease such as the Minamata disease, or whether it be fires blazing or world collapsing or whatever's happening. I think there's a beautiful, in the I Ching, there's a beautiful symbol, many beautiful symbols. There's one symbol that means the power of the small. And so when you have these huge monolithic opponents in front of you, screaming at it is not going to do anything. Trying to take the whole big building down by yourself is not going to do anything. So the power of the small is the idea that we recognize the issue, and if it's just one of us, starts with one, you chip away, you know, little by little, and then that problem can be toppled. So I think that's what it's all about for all of us, really. We're specks of dust. I mean, we are the small. So yeah, if there's something that needs to be dealt with that's of such magnitude, just start chipping away, you know, and people will follow, hopefully.
Thank you for these inspiring words. Thank you to all of you. Thanks for your presence.
Thank goodness.
icon. Say again. Y-A-N.
No, they want us over here. Thank you. They want it over here.
There you go.
Johnny.